Know, wonder, and learn.
Good day, everyone. I'm Floyd Rondin A. Molina, a grade 4 pupil of Cabatun West Central School, Cabatun West District. To write a good editorial piece, for me, there are only two things you need to bear in mind. First, you should know for yourself that the topic you'll be writing interests you and is a hot topic in town, because if it isn't interesting to you and isn't a current issue in your place, how will it catch others' attention? And why will they invest their time in reading what you wrote? Second, stick to your beliefs. Don't keep changing your words. If you agree with the situation, just be it until the end of your writing. And if not, then be firm with your words. And be sure to support every opinion you will write with facts. But always remember that opinions doesn't guarantee a truth about a situation or an issue. So, join me as I tune into Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela, and let us learn more together on how to write a good editorial piece. Thank you and good day.
Your communication hub and literary arts center of SDO Isabela. SDO English Academy.
An analogy describes the relationship between words. Subject, verb, your teacher, one and.
English Academy.
Hello, dear learners. Are you ready for another fun-filled learning adventure as we close this school year? Yes, you heard it right. We are already on our last airing here at Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. So be ready for an interesting lesson for today. Relax and enjoy the new concept that we're going to learn. Wow, I guess you have your full energy today. I am Mrs. Marilu Laborte Ramos, your radio teacher for today. And welcome to Grade 4 English Academy. I hope you are comfortable on your seat and you already have your pen, notebook, and module with you. Are you ready, kids?
Yes, ma'am!
Before we start our lesson, let's have a short review on your previous topic. Do you still remember it? That's right. In our previous lesson, we learned how to write a news report using the given facts. Can you also recall what are the important elements in writing a news report in order for us to make our news report better? Very good. It is important to concentrate on the 4 elements in writing news report. And those elements are facts, context, impact, and emotion. Can you also remember how to write a news story? Indeed, you will need the 5 W's and 1 H's. And those 5 W's and 1 H's stand for who, what, when, where, why, and how. Wherein who tells who the article is about. What explains what event is being covered in the article. When tells when the event happened. Where tells where the event happened. Why the event happened. And how explains how the event happened. Always keep these things in mind. Okay?
Yes, ma'am!
Very good, class. I have a question. Is it important to gather facts and information?
Yes, ma'am!
Alright, as a news writer, gathering facts is an important task. It helps a writer create a good news article. So, how do we get our facts for a news story? Great! As pupils, you can gather facts through observation. It is important for a news writer to be very observant in her surroundings. Using your eyes, ears, nose, and mind, it is important to jot down your observation on a piece of paper. Your observation must be specific, accurate, and precise. And of course, don't forget the part of the news writing. What are those again? Yes, the parts of a news are headline, lead, body paragraph, and its tail. Closing, as you can imagine, an inverted triangle. Am I right?
Yes, Ma'am.
I am very happy that you learned so much from your previous topic. Today, you will learn to write or compose an editorial article that could help you become a future journalist someday. Are you excited to learn about editorial, kids?
Hooray!
So, let's proceed to our new lesson. But before that, do you have any idea what an editorial is? Yes, editorial is the official stand of the paper on the relevant development or issue. It is a critical interpretation of significant event so that readers will be informed, influenced, and entertained. It is also a newspaper article that expresses one's opinion. This can be any topic, but usually written about an issue that our society deals with. To compose an editorial, we must know its parts, the introduction, body, and conclusion. Listen intently for its differences. Okay? Introduction is the beginning paragraph. It may contain the news upon which the editorial is based. The introduction is called the news peg. In some cases, the introduction states outright the stand of the editorial. Can you still follow? Alright, introduction is the part where you are going to grab the reader's attention and you will clearly state opinion on the issue and mention 2 to 3 reasons that support the opinion. Listen to this example of an introduction of an editorial article. The government is now trying to decide when and how much it will further relax restrictions in Metro Manila and other parts of the country. It is not a problem of government alone. It is a problem faced by every individual and every family in this still ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. What did you notice on the introduction of our editorial? Yes, it contains the stand or opinion for a certain topic or current events or the news peg. Again, the news peg is a brief statement about the news event at the current issue being discussed in the editorial. You can use your statement starters in giving your stand or opinion like, in our opinion, we believe, we feel, and we think. Next part is the body. Body should include the editorial's basic facts, that causes and effects behind incidents, situations, illustrations, and arguments. This is usually the longest part of every article. Do you want to listen for an example of the body of an editorial?
Yes, Ma'am.
Last week, the government's Interagency Task Force recommended that children 10 years old and above in MGCQ modified general community quarantine areas are now be allowed to leave their homes after 10 months of stay-at-home restrictions. But concerns were immediately raised that it might not yet be safe for them. The goal is to encourage more families to go out and spend some time in malls, as they used to, so as to boost business activity in the midst of the sluggish economy, Secretary of Trade and Industry Ramon Lopez said. But some Metro Manila mayors have expressed concern that this might cause an increase in COVID cases. The mayors are trying to balance their concerns between reviving the economy and triggering an increase in COVID cases, he said. They are not opposed to easing restrictions per se, they just want to take precautions. What did you notice in the body of our editorial? Correct! The body may take 2 or 3 short paragraphs that support or justify the editorial's stand. It should prove or justify the reaction made in the introduction. The body can also give examples or situations. In developing your arguments, you may use transitions like, for example, another reason, in addition, first, second, third, lastly, and as a result. Are you ready to proceed to the next part? We have the last part of the editorial, which we call conclusion. This part drives the final important thought or direction. The conclusion may be in the form of advice, challenge, command, or just a rounding out of a simple summary. This is the concluding statement that is solid and concise, which strongly summarizes the writer's opinion or a solution to the given problem in the introduction. You can leave the readers thinking or persuade them to act. Here's an example of the conclusion. In any easing restrictions, he stressed strict health protocols such as face masks and safe distancing must be followed. By now, it must be said, this has become second nature to nearly everyone, knowing that these are now our only protection against the virus until the vaccines come. According to the latest reports, mass vaccinations in the country can begin only around April or May, and only 50% of the population will have been vaccinated by the end of the year. What can you say about our conclusion? Yes, the end or last paragraph is giving a solution to a problem and leave the readers thinking. In writing your conclusion, you can use the transitions. In conclusion, for all the reasons we've given, to sum it up, to summarize, and as you can see. Those are the parts of editorial and how to write it. But of course, we must also know what types of editorials are we going to write. Do you have any guess? Indeed, we have informative, interpretative, editorials of crusade and reform, editorials on special occasions, editorials that praise or commend, editorials that offer entertainment, editorials of tribute, and editorial liners. Let's discuss them one by one. The first type of editorial is informative. Do you have any idea about informative editorial? Yes, correct. Informative editorial gives information, review, or announce certain facts or events. An example of this is an editorial about COVID-19 pandemic. Have you read one already? Next is interpretative. What can you say about this? You're right. Interpretative type of editorial are those that explain or bring out the significance of an event, situation, or idea. One example is our attitude towards studying in the new normal. Another is editorial of crusade and reform. These types of editorials criticize certain conditions, then suggest solutions or change, or which just give a message of reform without necessarily pointing out a problem or a bad condition. Example is the way of most desks, wherein it talks about the misuse of desks inside the classroom. How do you call an editorial that is usually written when you are celebrating some holidays like the death of our national hero or some occasions that all Filipino celebrate? That's right, that's editorial on special occasions. These are written to give meaning to occasions such as Christmas, Labor Day, heroes, birthday, and other significant events. Next is editorial that praise or commend. From the word itself, this expresses appreciation for a worthy action. Example of this is about commitment of one person or someone who saved a dog from a fire, or an ordinary citizen who returned $1 million to a foreigner. Another type is an editorials that offer entertainment. These are written to give in a light vein, primarily to entertain readers. Can you still follow, kids?
Yes, ma'am.
We also have editorial of tribute. This a form of editorial that gives tribute to the person or group of people. An example of this is Teacher's Day. Lastly, we have the editorial liners. This is short, witty paragraphs, either serious or light. Those are the types of editorials which you can choose where you write your own editorial writing. Will you enumerate the types of editorial again? That's right. We have informative, interpretative, editorials of crusade and reform, editorials on special occasions, editorials that praise or commend, editorials that offer entertainment, editorials of tribute, and editorial liners. What about the parts of editorial? That's great! The three main parts are introduction, body, and conclusion. Will you share some way on how to write your introduction? Correct! In an introduction, you must grab the reader's attention. Clearly state opinion on the issue and mention 2 to 3 reasons that support the opinion. What about the body of editorial? How do you write it? Wow! Great! You have to include the facts that support reasons as you gather more details to back up your arguments from different sources. Then, how do you write the conclusion? Yes, you have to give your opinion on why you agree or disagree on the issue where you stand. Don't forget to gather facts and supporting information will make your opinion strong and credible. You did it, kids! So I guess you are ready on your quiz. Are you ready, dear learners?
Yes, Ma'am.
Alright, bring out your activity notebook and listen to these instructions. All you have to do is to write Eddie if this statement is correct, and wow if this statement is incorrect. I will read the questions twice. I will give you 5 seconds to write your answer on your paper. I'll repeat the instructions, so listen, okay? Write Eddie if the statement is correct, and wow if the statement is incorrect. I will read the questions twice. Is this clear, class?
Yes, Ma'am.
Number 1. The editorial has 4 parts. I repeat, the editorials has 4 parts. Is it Eddie or wow? You may now write your answer. Number 2. The introduction of editorial begins with the introductory statement about a leading news, story, topic, or opinion. I repeat. Number 2. The introduction of editorial begins with the introductory statement about a leading news, story, topic, or opinion. Is it Eddie or wow? You may now write your answer. Number 3. The body of an editorial contains the stand of the writer or what the writer believes in, supported by facts, research, and details. I repeat. Number 3. The body of an editorial contains the stand of the writer or what the writer believes in, supported by facts, research, and details. Is it Eddie or wow? You may now write your answer. Number 4. The conclusion should write on the beginning of the paragraph. I repeat. Number 4. The conclusion should write in the beginning of the paragraph. Is it Eddie or wow? You may now write your answer. Number 5. Informative, interpretative, editorials of crusade and reform, editorials on special occasions, editorials that praise or commend, editorials that offer entertainment, editorials of tribute, and editorial liners are types of editorial. I repeat. Number 5. Informative, interpretative, editorials of crusade and reform, editorials on special occasions, editorial that praise or commend, editorials that offer entertainment, editorials of tribute, and editorial liners are types of editorial. Is it Eddie or wow? Okay, time's up. Let's check your answer. Listen for the correct answers and compare them from your own. Okay? The answer for number 1 is wow, since this statement is incorrect. The answer for number 2 is Eddie, since this statement is correct. The answer for number 3 is Eddie, since this statement is also true. The answer for number 4 is wow, since this statement is incorrect or false. While the answer for number 5 is Eddie, since this statement is correct or true. Did you get all the answers correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow! Congratulations! I guess most of you got high scores.
Hey!
Now, you are ready to write an editorial using its parts and be a journalist someday. If you have questions, just call or text your teacher, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all for today, kids. I hope this is a meaningful day for you. This episode will guide you on answering your modules.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!
Till next time, my dear learners, I am Teacher Marilu Laborte Ramos. Together with our script writer for today, Teacher Mary Jane Mundo, Teacher Roser Rycliffe, our content editor, and Teacher Hinel Antonio, and Teacher Rixie Bardiquillo, our technical specialist. And to the whole SDO Isabela production team, who made all our grade 4 episodes possible, saying, we're always happy to be of service to you all. Stay safe and congratulations for completing your grade 4 journey with us. Wish you all the best on your next grade level. Bye!
Para sa ating henerasyon, sa daan ng